What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Price Man reacting to something a little different today. I'm actually going to read some poems from a book that I purchased not too long ago from a used bookstore. So it's going to have a background. I'm going to read some of the passages, some of the poems from here. Uh, but I'm going to introduce the book, put it right here. It's called A Heap O' Livin' by Edgar A. Guest. This book was actually published, and this is a copy as well from the same publishing year. This is a copy of a book from 1916. So this book is over 100 years old. So it'll have some old timey language here and there, but a lot of the stuff will still resonate in present day. So let me look for some passages here. All right, so we're going to start with life. Life, excuse me, life is a gift to be used every day, not to be smothered and hidden away. It isn't a thing to be stored in the chest, where you gather your keepsakes and treasure your best. It isn't a joy to be sipped now and then, and promptly put back in a dark place again. Life is a gift that the humblest may boast of, and one that the humblest may well make the most of. Get out and live each hour of the day. Wear it and use it as much as you may. Don't keep it in niches and corners and grooves. You'll find that in service, its beauty improves. Some good stuff. This is my first time actually reading anything by this author, so I'm just picking some passages out random. I'll probably pick, see, four more, but we'll see. Next one is storytelling. Most every night when they're in bed, and both their little prayers have been said. They shout for me to come upstairs and tell them tales of grizzly bears, and Indians, and gypsies bold, and eagles with the claws that hold, a baby's weight, and fairy sprites that roam the woods on starry nights. And I must illustrate these tales, most imitate the northern gales that toss the Indian's canoe, and show the way he paddles too. If in the story comes a bear, I have to pause and sniff the air, and show the way he climbs the trees to steal the honey from the bees. And then I buzz like angry bees and sting him on his nose and knees and howl in pain till mother cries. That pair will never shut their eyes. While all that noise up there you make, you are simply keeping them awake. And then they whisper, just one more. And once again I'm forced to roar. New stories every night, they ask. And that is not an easy task. I have to be so many things: the frog that croaks, the lark that sings, the cunning fox, the frightened hen. But just night, they stumped me when they wanted me to twist and squirm and imitate an angleworm. At last, they tumble off to sleep, and softly from their room I creep, and brush and comb the shock of hair. I toss about to be a bear. Their mother says, well, I should say, you're just as much as a child as they. But you can bet I'll not resign that storytelling job of mine. Pause right there. You notice how a woman always try to crush a man's dreams? Man just trying to have fun with his kids, and look, here she come. Here she come. Mm-hmm. I said what I said. Ooh, okay. The epicure. I sipped a rich man's sparkling wine. His silverware I've handled. I've placed those battered legs of mine neath tables gaily candled. I dine on rare and costly fare, whenever good fortune lets me, but there's no meal that can compare with those the missus gets me. I've had your steaks 3 inches thick, with all your Sam Wood trimming. I've had the breast of milk-fed chick, and luscious gravy swimming, to dine in swell cafe or club. But irritates and frets me. Give me the plain and wholesome grub, the grub the missus gets me. Two kitties smiling at the board, the cook right at the table, the four of us, a hungry horde, to beat that none is able. A big meat pie with flaky crust, 'tis when that joy besets me. Oh, I could eat until I bust. Those meals the missus gets me. Okay, okay, I see him. Let's see. What's some other ones? Okay. Maybe this one is good for modern times. It's called The Sulkers. The world's too busy now to pause, to listen to a whiner's cause. It has no time to stop and pet the sulker in a peevish fret, who wails he'll neither work nor play, because things haven't gone his way. The world keeps plodding right along, and gives its favors right or wrong to all who have the grit to work, regardless of the fool or shirk. The world says this to every man: go out and do the best you can. The world's too busy to implore the beaten one to try once more. 'Twill help him if he wants to rise, and boost him if he bravely tries, and shows determination grim, but it won't stop to baby him. The world is occupied with men who fall, but quickly rise again. But those who whine because they're hit and step aside to sulk a bit are doomed someday to wake and find the world has left them far behind. I've never read this poem before, but this is some powerful stuff. And this is why I try to find poetry books that's not all about love. Because, I mean, whether it's a man or a woman writing it, it's always crying about someone else. Like, bro, there's so much more to life than relationships. And then before someone calls me an incel or whatever, or me just being a grumpy person when I say that, look, I have my fair share of relationships. I'm actually in one now, the whole nine. Like, but that's really not important. Just saying, there's more to life than relationships. And I mean, come on now. If there's, I mean, love is great and all, and they sell you that fantasy. But come on, let's focus on other things. Like this is amazing right here. I mean, this is pure gold. This was written in 1916, and it still holds true. I mean, damn, this is great. All right, the next one, purpose. Not for the sake of the gold, not for the sake of the fame, not for the prize would I hold any ambition or aim. I would be brave and be true, just for the good I can do. I would be useful on earth, serving some purpose or cause, doing some labor of worth, giving no thought to applause, thinking less of the gold or the fame than the joy and thrill of the game. Medals their brightness may lose, fame be forgotten or fade. Any reward we may choose leaves the account still unpaid. But little real happiness lies in fighting alone for a prize. Give me the thrill of the task, the joy of the battle and strife, of being of use, and I'll ask no greater reward from this life, better than fame or applause, is striving to further a cause. Man, that's powerful, but I will say this though: don't let people take advantage of you. You still have to make a living in this world, but if you can find something that that gives you purpose and can still make some more money for it, money from it, definitely go that route for sure. You have to make money. I mean, you can't be broke, especially with things getting so expensive. But there's still some truth in what this poem just bestowed upon us. I mean, damn, I actually gotta really take that in. Because I'll give you an example. I've worked corporate jobs before where it's a marketing accounts manager, right? I'm not going to go into the salary I was making, blah, blah, blah. It was just a job. I wasn't out here saving the world or making a real difference in the world. I was paid handsomely, but it would have been so much better if I found something I actually gave a damn about and get paid either that same salary or more, of course. You always want to get more. But, yeah. Man. All right, let's get some more. Let's see. Hmm. Okay, hold on. Let me get a little comfy here. Let me get a little comfy. Hold on. All right, raise my chair. All right, so we got another one here. It's called The Price of Joy. You don't begrudge the labor when the roses start to bloom. You don't recall the dreary days that won you their perfume. You don't recall a single care you spent upon the garden there. All the toil of tilling soil is quite forgot the day the first pink rosebuds into beauty burst. You don't begrudge the trials grim when joy has come to you. You don't recall the dreary days when all your skies are blue. And though you've trod a weary mile, the ache of it was all worthwhile. And all the stings and bitter flings are wiped away upon the day success comes dancing down the way. Man, let's. Whew, man. If you're really passionate about something and you find something that really speaks to you, man, just do it. I'm not Tony Robbins or what's that one Jets fan, Gary V. I'm not gonna sit there and tell you like a promise or a dream or anything, but man, just I know everything's probably not the best right now economically. I mean, I think this might even be worse than 2008. But guys, you guys, not just guys, but everyone, man, just dig deep, man. There's got to be something. Don't just lie down and die. Don't be a little bitch. Now, on the flip side, don't be ignorant and let people take advantage of you either. But you know, it's got to be a way. Think of all the people who went through Great Depressions and all this other stuff, and they still came out ahead. There were also some victims too, unfortunately, and maybe there are some people who are just doomed to fail. But just do what you can. If you feel like you can't do anything, remember, do what you can. Let's read a few more, and then we'll end this video. All right. I just picked these up at random, so I'm just flicking through the book here. It's only about flipping. It's less than 200 pages. So let's see. Here we go. Understanding. When I was young and frivolous and never stopped to think, when I was always doing wrong or just upon the brink, when I was just a lad of 7 and 8 and 9 and 10, it seemed to me that every day I got in trouble then. And strangers used to shake their heads and say I was no good. But Father always stuck to me. It seems he understood. I used to have to go to him most every night and say the dreadful things that I had done to worry folks that day. I know I didn't mean to be a turmoil round the place, and with the women folks about forever in disgrace. To do the way they said I should, I tried the best I could. But though they scolded me a lot, my father understood. He never seemed to think it queer that I should risk my bones, or fight with the other boys at times, or pelt a cat with stones. And when I'd break a window pane, it used to make him sad. But though the neighbors said I was, he never thought me bad. He never whipped me, as they used to say to me he should. That boys can't always do what's right. It seemed he understood. Now there's that little chap of mine, just full of life and fun, comes up to me with solemn face to tell me the bad he's done. It's natural for any boy to be a roguish elf. He hasn't time to stop and think and figure for himself. And though the woman folks insist that I should take a hand, they've never been a boy themselves, and they don't understand. Someday I've got to go up there and make a sad report. Well, let me turn the page. And tell the Father of us all where I've fallen short. And there will be a lot of wrong I never meant to do, a lot of smudges on my sheet that he will have to view, and a little chance for heavenly bliss up there until I command, unless the Father smiles and says, my boy, I understand. Damn. This was written in 1916. Let's pick another. Pick the final one. Let's see. Hold on. Fix my cuff here. All right. I'm trying to find a good one. Ooh. All right. The path that leads to home. The little path that leads to home, that is the road for me. I know no finer path to roam, with finer sights to see. With thoroughfares the world is lined, that lead to wonders new. But he who treads them leaves behind the tender things and true. Oh, north and south and east and west, the crowded roadways go, and sweating brow and weary breast are all they seem to know. And mad for pleasure, some are bent, and some are seeking fame, and some are sick with discontent, and some are bruised and lame. Across the world, the gleaming steel holds out its lure for men, but no one finds his comfort real till he comes home again. And charted lanes now line the sea for weary hearts to roam. But, oh, the finest path to me is that which leads to home. 'Tis there I come to laughing eyes and find a welcome true. 'Tis there all care behind me lies and joy is ever new. And, oh, when every day is done, upon that little street, a pair of rosy youngsters run to me with flying feet. The world with myriad paths is lined but one alone for me, one little road where I may find the charms I want to see. Though thoroughfares majestic call the multitude to roam, I would not leave to know them all, the path that leads to home. I think I'm gonna have to read. I'm gonna end this video soon. I'm gonna show you one other book. I got this from Barnes and Nobles not too long ago. The, man, so Robert Frost is actually one of my favorite poets of all time because, yes, he had a few love poems in there, but he also had so many great works of art that was just had nothing to do with the opposite sex or if you're trying to find romance. Because again, there's so much more to life than love. You know, I mean, love is great and all. It's nice to have that. And again, look, I've had my fair share. I'm semi-retired from the game though. I'm an older man these days. I don't need to be out there like that. But this stuff is gold. So I'm gonna read some Robert Frost in another video. I'm gonna end this one right here. Till next time, YouTube.